Attack!
Yo! What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another Yo vlog. Preseason of ESEA. Preseason as in season starts 2 days from now. Recording time at least. Might not get these videos up to Sunday, but week 1 is about to drop. I just did a very long video, talking about the unlocks for this season. This video is going to be talking about the map list and the map rotation, and then finally I will have a third part discussing player moves and some of the rosters that are out there on the invite division. So let's break down the map list right now. Week 1 is Badlands, Week 2 is Warmfront, Week 3 is Koth Viaduct. Must be Koth Viaduct Pro. The schedule that I'm looking at right now just says Koth Viaduct RC3, but that must be Pro Viaduct. Then it is Gravel Pit on Week 4, Snakewater on Week 5. That is the final release candidate of Snakewater. CP Stand-In on Week 6, which I will get back to because that's the most interesting map on this pool. Gully Wash on Week 7 and Granary on Week 8. Now that is a really solid list. Snakewater has kind of staked its claim as a solid map and deserving a spot in the 5 CP rotation. I think that is a great map. Koth Viaduct Pro, Koth is still kind of up in the air by some people. Some people don't really like it that much, but I love it. European players, I was discussing with some European players the other day, and I guess they don't really play Koth that much. They find it just kind of a little too simple, a little too uninteresting. Yeah, but here in North America, we've definitely settled in on King of the Hill. We did a 3v3 King of the Hill tournament with Salamancer a week and a half back. You should check our website for an article that has all of those VOD demos on there. Video on demand. I don't know why I said demos. Anyways, moving on. Let's talk about CP Stand-In. CP Stand-In is a very new map and a new format, a new style of play. It's going to be really interesting to see how teams play Stand-In, and I think there's going to be some crazy strategies. We will probably even see 2 different strategies from all the teams, on the first match day and the second match day. Because surely there's going to be some big matches on the first match day that all the other teams are going to be like, whoa, let's try to imitate that, because that was awesome. How CP Stand-In works is it is a 3 CP map, but it is control point based, not attack and defend. So instead of Gravel Pit, A, B, C, or instead of Granary where it's 5 in a row, it's 3 points in a row, A, B, C, and basically you have your spawn, and then you have 3 routes. You can go left, you can go straight ahead, you can go to the right, and of course there's a couple branches and different routes on each side. But you have to control all 3 points at the same time to win a round. And that's really interesting also because there's no overtime. No overtime. So let's say that your team is in control of 2 of the points, and all you need is C. And your team heads to C, and you have ×6 capping C because all your players are there. The other team has ×2 on A and ×2 on B, and they're slowly progressing. Yours is going to finish before either of theirs, so at that instant you have all 3 under your control and you win. So what that means, in terms of strategy, is that if you're down to 1 last point, the only way that you can let the other team capture that is if you're going to capture a single point before they can capture that. But that, of course, is a risky situation, because what if you don't capture that point? What if somebody comes in and stands on it and interrupts the process before they finish their capture? You either have to capture another point, or you have to capture both of the other points. So it's not a good situation to be down to your last point, and you really have to defend it. So it's a really exciting back and forth map. Swings from one side of the map to the other. A lot of different interesting ways to come at the other team, because you can go through their spawn side instead of your side. That would be my advice to teams that are playing this or checking it out, is calling things near A or far A, because there's it's a symmetrical down the middle map. So, you know, there's a route this side of A to your spawn, and there's a route on that side of A from your spawn. But if you're looking at B, looking that way, you know, how do you call that? So that's what I would suggest. Anyways, stand-in is very interesting. That was the map that was voted on, brought back. Follower was kind of kicked around. But I think players are really excited about stand-in. There's a new format, and I think it'll be really interesting, really exciting, and that's the map that I'm really looking forward to. I want to tell you guys a little bit about some of the matchups in the first 2 weeks and give you a clue of what we will probably be covering. Now, not everything is really scheduled properly yet, but Profits versus Area 51 is the biggest matchup of the first week. I'll get into rosters more next discussion, so I'm gonna wrap this up as quick as I can. Another good invite game is going to be Mighty Ducks versus High Rollers Gaming. I'm excited about that one because it's two of the lower teams of invite, the non-expected to qualify for LAN teams battling it out, so we can see how they're doing, which team might have a strong upper hand on those, and it should just be a good contest of some of the newer invite teams, and I'm excited of giving them coverage. And then in intermediate, there is Vector versus Tiger Friends. That's on November 1st, as well as Laser Beams versus King's Crew. Laser Beams is Pure's team. Both those matches are scheduled to be played on the 1st. We would like to do a double header with those. If there's a schedule conflict with Invite, we will be streaming on both ESEA Invites. Or sorry, Jesus. XTV Esports and XTV Esports 2. Sorry, I was getting distracted thinking about some of my notes. Some of the other matches of the week, we had KBK do up some ESEA intermediate predictions on our website. I suggest you check those out. His calls of the intermediate matches of the week, which we're definitely going to try and cover, are Mobility Gaming versus Jabronis. When I looked before, it was scheduled for Thursday, November 3rd at 7:30. And then Zensity Gaming versus Mayhem. You know, like I said, we're going to try to cover all those matches. Basically, you know, as our schedule allows, we're going to try to cover invite, then intermediate, then open. So, you know, also kind of what tends to happen is, you know, the beginning of the season, open is just a wild territory. You know, not as many big matches, some big matches, but a good amount of stomps, and not really sure what to watch, what to look at, and you know, then invite at the end of the season kind of gets to the point where you're like, okay, well, we know how this is going to end, or, you know, maybe there's two matchups that are really crucial, that are really interesting, but the other matchups are all kind of, you know. So that's usually when we start to cover open a lot more, because then it's like playoff race, you know, it's heating up, and it's such a big deal. But we're going to cover as much as possible XTV Esports and XTV Esports 2. Looking ahead for week 2, Profits versus Experiment, a huge match, and Experiment versus Mix-Up. So next week is going to be Experiment week pretty much, and this coming week is going to be Profits versus 51, the biggest matchup of the week. So we're super excited about that. Also in week 2 might cover Mighty Ducks versus Snooplicity. Should be pretty exciting. So thanks for that quick little rundown of maps and some of the matchups coming up on XTV Esports over on Twitch TV. Of course, we will be looking to get those transferred over to our ComFT channel. Unfortunately, those aren't the highest quality because of some codec issues with you know, auto transferring them from our Twitch TV account. We've, you know, considered different ways to do that. The auto transfer is the easiest use of resources for us, but I think they would like to improve their quality as well. So hopefully we can get some changes over there. Thanks for watching this video, guys. I will see you next time. Peace out.